different, right? I know. I don't know why you changed the read. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, let me show you.
Good morning and welcome to Ali FM. Today a little later, I assume my bit of the blame. I admit my blame. I overslept a little, but it is a Monday, isn't it? Things we have today, very exciting. We have Cassandra later at 10 with her IB students who we haven't had in the show yet, so that's going to be good. They're going to debate about stuff the way they do in the IB. And now in this first hour, I'll have my third ESO B students, who, as usual, on Monday, who you know, I'm sure, from almost every day, really, at 9. It's frankly incredible that I still have some students at all, because at this point of the year, if you remember, we've been saying it, last Friday was the last day to increase your marks. So from now on, it's just a question of whether or not they want to spend some time with me, basically. Okay, and here they are already. Good morning, Anna. Or here she is, basically.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I overslept today. I started the show a little later. Anyway, it's just you today, isn't it? Do you wanna look? I'll be fair with you. I was planning to do a debate today with the class, with whoever came to class. It's up to you, really, whether you wanna participate or not, or would rather do something else. I wanted to talk about e-games. Do you know what e-games are? Oh, hello, Wolu.
Hello.
With two people, we can have something, I think. So e-games, do you know what e-games are?
Yes.
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 Wolu knows. Could you? Oh, both of you know. Great. Could we explain it for anyone who doesn't know?
It's the competition of games
Uh-huh.
but in computer games or
That's
video
right.
games.
The E in e-games stands for electronic games, obviously. So yeah, it's basically as you say. The games thing is I think is there after the Olympic Games, really. So what we, or any sort of games for that matter. So just like the I don't know if you've heard of the X Games. The X Games are something you've heard about them.
Not really. I'm just guessing.
What's
I
your
was
guess?
just guessing.
Okay, come tell me your guess. Come on.
Like the Xbox, like games you play on the Xbox.
It could be something like that. It could also be something like, well, that's what it is. Extreme. It stands for Extreme Games. So the X Games are something that Red Bull, if you know that drink manufacturer, organizes every year to celebrate games that are normally not included in the Olympic Games, but sports that a lot of people practice as well. Normally, those are sports in which the danger to the athlete is high, is elevated. So something like skating, skateboarding, I mean, snowboarding, like in a different style. I think it's freestyle snowboarding, jumps from very high into cliffs, cliff jumping. I think they call it. I don't remember how it's called right now, but so most of them are really very dangerous, and only those athletes can really perform those feats, those sports feats. Anyway, that was Extreme Games. So in the same fashion, we have the name E Games, which stands for, as we said, electronic games. Now, the electronic games would be something like the Olympic Games of electronics, of video games in this case. So, why do I speak about that? Because as you probably know, and if the audience doesn't know, I'll tell them. But I think at this point in time, everybody sort of knows. So what happens with e-games is that they, in certain parts of the world, namely the Far East from us, from our perspective, the Far East, we refer to China, Korea, Japan, those countries. In those countries, in that part of the world, e-games are more popular, much more popular than, say, any sports event like the Super Bowl in the NFL, the Clásico in Spanish football. They attract more people, and it's basically a team. There are two teams as well, a team versus another, playing games in which they basically have to either kill the other person or score more points than the other person. The team, and well, that's the mechanics of it. Basically, they compete against each other. So, the first question for you is, what do you think about e-games?
That it's good. For
Good.
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Anna, what do you think about e-games?
I think it's good that they have them. Like, not everyone wants to do, the traditional sports. So I think it's good that they have a place where they can play whatever they like.
Now, for anybody who thinks, who is, let's say, for anybody who is skeptical about e-games, because the argument normally is whether you like them or not. Okay, the argument normally is, well, those so-called e-athletes, which you sometimes some people call them gamers as well, but it's not quite the same thing. I think professional gamers are called e-athletes. So e-athletes, people just say, well, they're not athletes in the sense that they don't have any physical preparation for the sport they do. What would you say to that?
That they do have a preparation, they have more of a mental preparation, and many of them have the athlete preparation, like for example in their hands, like have you seen them how fast like they move?
Yes. And in fact, well, we are again in no way are we experts in the matter or anything, but with the things we have seen, I have seen documentaries about e-games, and those guys train just like in any other sport discipline. They train for a number of hours as well, every day. So why is it you think that people don't take it as seriously? And when I say people, I mean the general public, that we still don't have that they still haven't been established as a regular entertainment in every country.
Because they think it's not a sport, then they think that it's very easy to play it.
What about?
Yes.
No, go ahead, Anna.
No, I was just going to say that I agree with Daniel. Like they don't really know what it is, and there are a lot of people who think it's really easy to play that, and it's like anyone can do that.
Yeah, you have to be really talented in to start with in how quickly you understand video games, and then within the video game, within the sport, when you have become an e-athlete, you have to learn or simply be good at thinking fast, making very quick choices. That will affect. You have to play in learn how to play in a team, because those guys normally teams win who are more compact and solid in the sense of they collaborate, cooperate more. What else? Okay. When another argument that I have heard about the preparation, etc. When people are thinking that people think that because it happens, let's say the movement, etc. happens through a machine. Like for example, they don't really. If you're playing Counter-Strike, I'm thinking right now. You know Counter-Strike?
Yes, I know it.
I don't know what that is.
Could you explain, Daniel, what Counter-Strike is like?
It's an FPS game. FPS means like a first-person shooter, and it's like team 5v5, and there are two teams, like the police and the terrorists. The terrorists have to kill all the police or plant a bomb, and the police have to defend and kill all the terrorists, and if the bomb is planted, they have to defuse the bomb.
That's right. Very good. Very well said. So what happens is what you get is a game where people shoot each other, as Boru explained very well. First-person shooter. So yeah, your camera when you're playing, what you can see is the point of your the end of your gun. Sometimes your hands as well if you move them. But basically, what you see is what's in front of you, and if you move the mouse simply, you move. You're looking around, as it were, and then you have to move with some keys in the computer. Move, shoot, change weapons, etc. So it's very complete in the sense that you can make many movements, but all related to warfare. So what people who are against or simply don't get the idea of esports being actual sports is that they say, well, the actual shooting, the actual physical effort is not that of the e-athlete, as it were. Is not human, is a machine. It's the people in the machine who are the let's say the characters, the fictional characters within the video game, who are really moving and shooting around. So they need, let's say, e-athletes are nothing without their computers. Now to that, I'd like you to compare that to Formula One and Moto Grand Prix. Could you draw a comparison there?
Yes, the moto, they are physical sports, more physical than playing video games.
But what about the use of machines? Could we do Formula One without the Formula One vehicles?
No.
Yes.
You could do it?
Without the Formula One vehicles, no.
No, you couldn't do it. So again, and no one thinks that. I think, as you put it, they are very physical as well, because those guys have to, in some cases, go to the gym to gain strength in their arms, because sometimes they have to move the wheel of the car in fractions of seconds, very, very strongly against the let's say the friction with the pavement. They also have to train how to have to train their endurance, their stamina, because they have to spend many hours of a morning in the same uncomfortable position with all the tension that requires to be competing, basically. They also have to, get used to being in a reduced space. Well, they need to have a certain requirements. They can't be fat, basically, otherwise they can't fit the in the space of the car, in the pit of the car. But anyway, without, like we said, without the car, there's no Formula One sport in general. But we respect that it is a sport. We say it's a sport. How does that compare to esports then?
I think that. No, Daniel, go ahead.
I think it have more physical preparation.
I think just that people are not really used to a lot of technology, and they don't really are used to the concept of someone playing on a computer, whereas driving cars has been there for a long time. So I think it's just a matter of getting used to it and seeing it as a reality, like computers are a thing. You can do this with computers, and they're an actual sport that needs to have some talent and preparation.
Right. Now, one more thing that always that one more idea, let's say, that is always mentioned in this debate is the idea of well, basically, people don't like, or some people don't understand why you or me or anybody who likes esports would go to a sports venue, let's say, a stadium sometimes, to watch other people play a video game. They don't understand that. Could you explain? Do you understand?
Yes, so I think yes, it doesn't have the same feeling, since of course, like, you're not seeing like in real time, like for example track athletes, like they're running and you can literally see like, oh, it's like 1 second behind him, like what's going to happen. That's really interesting and stuff. But I just think that there's something interesting about those games. Like, there are screens in which you can see what they are saying, and you're like, oh my god, he's about to shoot him, because you can see some things that the actual players are not saying, and you can be like, hey, this shooter is coming at your back and you're not even seeing it. So I do think for this certain type of people, it does have the same interest.
Thrill, let's say, or excitement.
Yes.
Bolu, what do you think?
Yes, I think the same that.
As Anna.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, if you think about it, if we, I always like to, when I don't understand something, I like to go back to, let's say, the beginning of things, and so rebuild everything up again, so I can explain it to myself. The whole idea of sport and sports entertainment, as in watching other people play sports, is as ridiculous, let's say, to use a word, is as ridiculous as watching someone play a video game. It is the same, essentially. You're not doing anything actively. What you're doing is you're watching other people do something. There's nothing you can do to intervene in the game, let's say. In fact, if you do, you get arrested. If you decide to take your clothes off in the middle of a football match and go down to the field and start running around to try to interrupt the game or to send a message to your parents, they arrest you. The police go after you. So my point here is sports entertainment is essentially watching other people play rather than playing yourself. Now, some people are, let's say, more or better acquainted with the sport itself, with how it's played. Let's say, for example, if I am in a stadium as a viewer, and I'm watching a football match, and next to me I have Pep Guardiola, for example. Obviously, he understands what's going on better than I do, but perhaps there will be someone again amongst the audience who understands the game better than he does, and so that doesn't really have an effect in the game or in how we enjoy it. So again, coming back to e-games, it is, I think, the same thing, isn't it? You are watching other people play. So by definition, esports are also sports, I think, in the sense in the way we consume them, in the way we watch them, let's say. So
Yes.
what do you think has to happen for esports to be more established, to have a better reputation, let's say?
I think just time, just like giving time to people to getting used to it and allowing the sport to grow even more. Till the point that they cannot ignore it anymore. It's literally bigger than other sports that you actually have in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's also bigger than some sports.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I just think giving time to those people who don't understand them to get more used to the idea of them. Because like young generations, I don't think young generations are opposed to it. I think people who are opposed to it are more like adults and like older people who don't understand it.
Absolutely. So what do you think, just now that we're looking into the future, what do you think esports will replace when they finally are established? Let's say in every country there's that stadiums are also used for that, sports stadiums like football stadiums. What do you think is going to replace, if it's going to replace anything?
I think it will replace other sports that are not seen as interesting anymore. I think there are many competitions and many sports that are in the Olympics and that are taken as a sport, which will be seen as way more boring and nobody will care about them.
Could you give an example? Or?
For example, like like table tennis, chess, martial arts.
Yeah,
those kinds of sports who are not really seen by that many people. I think in the future will be seen by no one.
Yeah, maybe you're right. In fact, it's true that minority sports are in danger of always disappearing. It's not the first time it happens. Right. And now I ask these things because have you ever heard of gladiators and colosseums and
Yes.
So those were also spoken of as games, referred to as games in the ancient times.
Yes, they were our modern day fighting.
That's right. So what they did was in times of peace, or not, but yeah, in times of peace, they would have the Roman Empire basically would celebrate these games, which were atrocious in nature if you think about it, because they're what you're celebrating or what you're asking people to do or forcing people to do, slaves mainly, is to fight for their lives in front of an audience. Um, and that has been replaced with something else. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about the nature of those games? What entertainment is there in watching someone suffer or even lose their lives?
I think it was one of the at the time it was one of the only things that you could like watch. And I mean, there's some like the same way people like boxing and they enjoy like a lot of those like fighting in which people end up like really bad. Like at that moment in the Colosseums, like they were literally fighting for their lives because one of them would die. I think there's some excitement in being like, who will die? Like it will be like the slave or it will be like the soldier.
In fact, I think within the last few decades, we have refined, as it were, sports in a way that the athletes are safer and they don't lose their lives as much. But athletes do still die every now and then, in the sense that we've heard of tragedies of people losing their lives when they are training. Like for example, in my case, I like triathlon, as you know. I think I've mentioned this before. There are a number of triathletes who have suffered heart attacks because of the requirements of the training they were doing, because of the level of intensity their heart simply gave, and they died in the water. For example, they had a heart attack in the middle of a swimming session, and they basically drowned and died. And that is, is something that might happen. It's not very common, luckily, and it is a possibility.
Yes,
Very
like
unlikely, but a possibility.
like in Formula One, there are people who have also died because like their car got on fire and they couldn't get out in time and
That's
they
right.
died. Or like in those like cliff jumping things, people could also die. Like dangerous sports exist. I think now there are way more like rules and stuff to make the sport more like athletic and more like well seen, but also to make them, of course, safer. But with when you're on a dangerous sport like snowboarding, skiing, and things like that, anything could happen.
That's right, and I think it is obviously the right thing to do to try and make sport as safe as possible, because nobody wants to celebrate someone's death, basically. But there are a number of people who watch those things, and and I think it's safe to say that it adds something to the sport when to the excitement, let's say, when you know it's dangerous and that what the person is doing, the athlete is doing, is a damage, let's say, or is harmful, not harmful, but risky, let's say, for their own good. What do you think about that? Do you agree with me?
Like the athletes that do those sports, mainly it is because of the adrenaline that they get on that moment, and I think the viewers also get that adrenaline from seeing them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In fact, I suppose it's the adrenaline really that attracts so many viewers to at least Formula One, for example, as we've been talking about Formula One for a while. So yeah, speed, uh, like we said, having to make quick choices, take quick choices, etc. That it all adds to speaks of the nature of the sport. Now, I have to ask this because we have been discussing this. If we would we brand or label bullfighting as a sport?
To me, yes, I think it is a sport. I don't, but I think it's a sport that should remain in Spain. I don't think it should be like an international thing, like on the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Boru?
Same as Hannah. Yes, because it's true that I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I asked this, I don't want to get controversial or anything. I'm just asking this because we have drawn a relationship across the ages of sports entertainment and whether we consider bullfighting sports or not. What it is it is entertainment in the sense that there is an audience watching what's going on. In the center of the arena, let's say. In fact, the word arena has come into English from the word sand in Spanish, and that's because of bullfighting. I think. I'm not sure, but I think it's because of bullfighting. So anyway, arena. So, sorry, I lost track. I think I must be thinking that perhaps I made a mistake. Maybe arena comes from Latin in the Colosseum, etc. But anyway, in any case, the Colosseum bears resemblance to a bullfighting arena in that they are essentially the same shape. If you think about it, they are a circle with a circular arena as well in the middle, and the way the seats are planned and basically divided is the same. It's essentially the same thing. So what you're watching as well is also very similar because you used to have in what do you call those? In fact, well, games. In the games of ancient times, you would have slaves, for example, or soldiers, as Anna put it. You would have slaves fight animals as well in many cases. Wild animals, I mean, wild beasts like tigers or lions or even bulls. So a man or a group of men, basically, but if we listen to the sport romanticism, a man fighting or facing a bull is also, I think, one of the descendants, let's say, of that of that era, of that period. Don't you think?
Yes.
Yes. So obviously, even though, as we said, we have come to the point, let's say, we have started to, within the last few decades, we said, to reduce the amount of pain or suffering that the athletes take in, or risk that the athletes take in sports in general, there still remains a number of sports, let's say, or entertainment things, events, let's say, that where the component of death or pain or suffering is still present, is still the thing to watch. That wasn't really a question, but you could say your opinion if you want.
No, like, I think overall, like, whether you think or not, like, bullfighting, it is a traditional sport that has to do with the Spanish culture.
Mm-hmm.
The same way that in other countries, for example, like in Wales and like Ireland, they have like the Celtic and Gaelic games, which they all consider a sport. They all like to play. Mm-hmm. But like we don't play internationally because it's not part of our culture. It's part of theirs. Mm-hmm. So like for me, like you can be you can like them, you can not like them, but I think it is basically the same. It is entertainment. It is a sport, and like it has always, like since centuries, there has always been something like that is considered entertainment for people.
Absolutely, that's very well said. Boru, anything to by way of a conclusion?
I think that the sports will be taken more seriously, because they have a lot of audience, and the athletes train a lot for being in the scene.
Yes, that's very well said. Thank you very much, you guys, for joining me today for this. I'll just leave you alone now. I suppose I will see you tomorrow at 9. If I don't, I will assume that you guys have just closed the year or something. But if I do, we'll talk about something like today. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining me. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
So that's what new generations think about esports, entertainment, etc. And to be fair, yes, I did take, with my questions, I sort of took the lead of the conversation, and my questions and my long monologues sometimes, which I can't avoid, I can't help, because I am a teacher and teachers are known to like their own voices. Anyway, that wasn't the point. The point was, to draw comparisons that I think they might not have drawn themselves if I just let them think about the question itself. So I was trying to help with fluency, let's say, in the conversation. And I was obviously picking my own themes. Right, after this, right now, coming in like a couple minutes, we have the gossip news section. It's back from 2 years ago, with Natalia, Laura, and Lucia, the guys who brought you the film reviews last Thursday, if you remember. Here it is, gossip news. Enjoy it.
and welcome to Gossip News, our weekly section that informs you about all the important and international events that happen every day to our celebrities. Today, we have 4 different news that will leave you completely shocked. Are you ready?
Well, for the first one, I'm going to talk about the most recent one. It has to do with one of the hottest guys at the moment. You'll probably know him because of Riverdale or 5 Feet Apart. Exactly, he is Cole Sprouse. Unsurprisingly, he was arrested a couple of days ago by the police because of his public position against racism. After the death of George Floyd, millions of Americans took the streets to claim for the rights of the people of color. Cole Sprouse, as other celebrities, went to a peaceful demonstration in Santa Monica. As he told in his social media, the police went to where they were protesting and told them they had to go, or otherwise they will be arrested. When they were leaving, the police blocked their way and started attacking them. Cole didn't want to turn aside the attention to what it really matters, which are the protests. So he made clear that his detention had nothing to do with others and that he was okay. Apart from easing his followers, he also encouraged them to participate and collaborate with the cause. In addition, Cole has helped other people commit to the cause and has paid them their deposit to leave jail as soon as possible. Now we continue with another incredible news.
Now we continue with another incredible news. Gigi Hadid, the international model, is pregnant. She's recently turned 25, and with her partner Zayn Malik, singer and ex-component of One Direction, they're expecting a baby for 20 weeks. The child's birth is expected to take place in late August or early September, and its sex is not yet confirmed. This news was confirmed by a source close to the model and was published during the quarantine. This pregnancy has been a great surprise because after 5 years of intermittent relation and not having clear if they were still together just a couple months ago, a baby was the last thing that was expected. They met each other in 2015 in the video clip of Pillow Talk, one of the hits of Zayn. They seemed to be the perfect couple until the 2018 when they broke apart. And during these next 2 years, they were coming and going but without confirming neither a reconciliation or a rupture. Her pregnancy could also be confirmed by a photo she published in her birthday where she appeared with Zayn and her sister Bella Hadid. Gigi was one of the most successful modeling careers of these times, so we will see in the next months if this event affects in some of her professional life.
The next one is about one of the components of the most famous rich families, the Kardashians. Especially about its youngest member, Kylie Jenner, who has been accused of lying about the benefits of her brand Kylie Cosmetics to be part of the Forbes billionaires list. It all started in 2015, when Kylie designed and launched a line of chapsticks and lip liners that had a great success. Later, in 2018, she was accepted in the Forbes magazine as the youngest self-made billionaire in history, with a patrimony superior to $900 million. But now, the same magazine has denied that title. They are sure that Kylie has a less profitable business than the one she asserts she owns. When they began to investigate, they discovered Kylie earned half of the money that initially was known. She said her benefit was superior to $300 million per year. To face these accusations, Kylie published several tweets denying everything that has been said and criticizing the magazine and the reputation. Although Kylie proclaims her innocent, this issue could end in an official investigation and a trial. At the moment, the situation has affected mostly the CEO of the company, Christoph Ohnfelder, who had to resign recently.
Although this last news is already old, it is also very shocking. Adele has published a photo on Instagram that has gone viral. For those who don't know who Adele is, something unlikely, she's a famous English singer with more than 10 years of career and a long list of hits that you have surely heard. Adele maintains her social life very discreetly despite having more than 33 million of followers. But this time she shared with her fans a photo for their 32nd birthday. This photo, despite not having anything special, has revolutionized all her followers because it shows the incredible physical change that Adele has undergone.
According to close sources, this change wasn't her goal, but is the consequence of a new lifestyle she has started recently. It is said that it has been caused by the postpartum depression she suffered after giving birth to her first child and desire to be the healthiest mother possible for him. Also, the divorce of her last husband, Simon Konecki, could have been an important cause to her new image. Her fans do not give credit and are also waiting for her next album.
So, that's all for today. We hope this news resulted in interesting events that you didn't know. We wanted also to end the program by thanking you all for listening to us. See you in a week.
Are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching Monsters Inc? Do you want an Emma Watson, Scarlett Johansson in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then download Salupa, a dating app for El Valle students. With this app, you will find your own Kate Beckett. Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life. Are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching The Kissing Booth? Do you want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Greste in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then download Salupa, a dating app for El Valle students. With this app, you will find your own Noah Flynn. Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life. Do you hate shopping and having to buy many different colored t-shirts? Because here we bring you a color tint t-shirt for every day.
Valley FM. Everything the light touches is the valley, 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 valley.
Are you tired of having to stop the radio or your music when you enter a parking or just when you remain without connection? Well, it's over because from now on, with Spotify Premium, you won't have to worry about that. You will only have to enjoy your music and that of others, as you like. Try it free 1 month. If it convinces you, for only €5 a month, it will be yours. Don't waste your time. Digit Music awaits you.
Are you tired of your backpack of always? Here you have a purchase for a brand new backpack every day.
Tired of leaving school and having to take the bus? Do not suffer anymore. Now, with our premium limousine service, you can go home comfortably, and the best thing is that you will not have to share a seat with anyone. Before, at €50 a month, now only at $49.99. Do not miss this incredible offer. Call now and get your premium limousine service.
Do you think your parents might kill you if they go to your tutorial? Do you want to be able to leave early whenever you want? Then you should hire our services. We offer actors to play your mother or father and go to your tutorials instead of your real ones. And give you fake permission to leave early. Only for a small fee. Call us.
Hey, did you hear Valley FM's back?
That's groovy.
Hey, you. Yes, you. The one who's hearing this. Is your backpack too heavy? Your back hurts, you have bad posture, and you also feel like you get smaller every time you carry it? Say goodbye to all these problems with our new robot, the multifunctional charger. It has a platform that will carry your backpack without you noticing. It also comes with a built-in system that will straighten your back in 3 weeks of continuous use. Request it right now for only 120 euros. And if you're one of the first 5 to call, we will send you the 300-page manual with all its functions at half of price. Do not miss out on this unique offer.
There is a novelty in the market. The new Reuben juice comes full of vitamins so that children never get tired of playing and never stop speaking English.
Valley FM. It's not the Valley of the Fallen, it's the Valley of the Rockers.
Have you ever dreamed of being able to know what someone is thinking? Imagine knowing everything that people think of you without them really knowing that you read their thoughts. Here at Valley FM, we bring you an app called Did You Know That? Download it now.
Aren't you tired of the clothes in your wardrobe that you no longer use? The ones that take away space for other new clothes? Well, the new Vinted platform, an expert in trends, is responsible for ensuring a safe and effective purchase and sale of your favorite outfits. We have a large number of users with whom you can chat throughout the page and agree on the price that you choose. Unlike other companies specialized in the same subjects, we facilitate your work, carrying out our shipping to avoid confusions. What are you waiting for? Replacing and saving your purchase has never been so easy. Vinted, if you want something, look it up.
If you're still connected listening to Valley FM, you're in luck because you could participate in a great draw to win a trip to Maldives. Yes, you heard correctly. This may be your summer.
Enjoying a trip to the Maldives with the companion of your choice? It could be your brother, your sister, your partner, or your best friend. Anyway, it would be great. You can do many activities, visit unforgettable places, and relax in the island.
Do you hate shopping and having to buy many different colored t-shirts? Because here we bring you a color themed t-shirt for every day.
Tired of leaving school and having to take the bus? Do not suffer anymore. Now, with our premium limousine service, you can go home comfortably, and the best thing is that you will not have to share a seat with anyone. Before, at 50 euros a month, now only at 49,99. Do not miss this incredible offer. Call now and get your premium limousine service.
Valley FM. It's not the Valley of the Fallen, it's the Valley of the Rockers.
This is Valley FM.
Hey, did you hear Valley FM's back?
That's groovy.
You're listening to Valley FM.
Have you ever dreamed of being able to know what someone is thinking? Imagine knowing everything that people think of you without them really knowing that you read their thoughts. Here at Valley FM, we bring you an app called Did You Know That? Download it now.
Are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching The Kissing Booth? Do you want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Agreste in your life?
Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home?
Then download Salupa, a dating app for El Valle students.
With this app, you will find your own Noah Flynn.
Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life.
Hey, you. Yes, you. The one who's hearing this. Is your backpack too heavy? Your back hurts, you have bad posture, and you also feel like you get smaller every time you carry it? Say goodbye to all these problems with our new robot, the multifunctional charger. It has a platform that will carry your backpack without you noticing. It also comes with a built-in system that will straighten your back in 3 weeks of continuous use. Request it right now for only €120. And if you're one of the first 5 to call, we will send you the 300-page manual with all its functions at half of price. Do not miss out on this unique offer.
Do you think your parents might kill you if they go to your tutoria?
Do you want to be able to leave early whenever you want?
Then you should hire our services. We offer actors to play your mother or father and go to your tutorials instead of your real ones.
And give you fake permission to leave early.
Only for a small fee.
Call us.
There is a novelty in the market. The new Reuben juice comes full of vitamins so that children never get tired of playing and never stop speaking English.
Hi, I'm Jaisa. Today I am going to introduce you an amazing product. These are the new headbands. They are in many different colors and they also are perfect for any occasion that you want to put it. They are very comfortable.
Are you tired of having to stop the radio or your music when you enter a parking or just when you remain without connection? Well, it's over because from now on, with Spotify Premium, you won't have to worry about that. You will only have to enjoy your music and that of others, as you like. Try it free 1 month. If it convinces you, for only €5 a month, it will be yours. Don't waste your time. The good music awaits you.
We're back from our little break that we have in between lessons. And as promised, now we have Cassandra and Kieran with their debate with first of baccalaureate of international baccalaureate. This is a different class to, for those of you who are listening to us, this is a different class to that of
like to
last
have
week
my voice
with
right there.
Gustavo.
That is
that I don't want to.
That's understandable, but in that case, I'm going to have to say
Good morning.
All right. Well, I mean, I will be. Can I listen to this?
Morning, Ruben.
I just stay
Sorry to interrupt.
Morning, Ruben. How are you doing?
Hello. Good. How's everybody doing? You're in this.
Well.
You're within the internet, or is it Futurama?
I thought I did a little thematic today.
Jesus, it's great.
It's not bad. It's very apt as well, Ruben. Do you know why it's apt?
No, I don't know what that is.
Well, it reminds me of robotics and virtual reality and the future. I mean, if anything represents the future, it's the background of Cassie's.
Yeah, definitely. The audience cannot see it, but she is basically surrounded by, or in fact, it's behind her, but it appears to be within a spaceship of sorts, or like a shop for robot parts or something like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
It could be in Rick and Morty's little lair underneath their house.
That's right, it could be that too, yeah. Microsoft Teams updating their software for when it's necessary the last week of the year.
Well, actually, I'm just using my personal computer instead of my school computer.
All right. That explains everything. Anyway, what have you guys brought us today? I sort of anticipated to the audience that there would be a debate and I was sort of introducing that this is a first of baccalaureate or international baccalaureate class, different to the one we listened to for the last 2 weeks with Gustavo's class, that is second. But that's about it. That's everything I said for the moment.
Yeah, well, just like Cassie's background, we're going to be discussing robotics and virtual reality. Some of the issues around virtual reality existences, artificial intelligence as well, and whether that will help us as a human race, what the main benefits and drawbacks of that will be, and some ethical questions as well, and some chat about movies to make it a bit more relaxed. So that's our plan.
I like the way that sounds, because this morning, well, only a while ago, we were talking. I was talking to my third semester students about e-games and debating whether they were e-sports, e-games, whether they were a real sport or not. What will the future look like for that entertainment company, let's say, or events, and I think it relates to this as well, in the sense that we are digitalizing more and more our entertainment and the way we live, we work, everything. So
True. And we're going to do it in the way that we did it in the previous week, where we pass the question from one student to another. We're going to call it Pass the Hot Potato today, because the Spanish game show in which you pass questions is not an English word.
I remember that, yeah. The Grand Prix.
And so we're not going that way. So, but first we're starting with an open question, which I can ask you as well if you want, which is, have any of you guys, have you experienced a virtual reality headset before? I remember in Gran Via there was a place where you could try the Samsung ones on. I think it was in Callao Square, actually, about 6 months ago. Have any of you tried a virtual reality headset?
I have.
Hey, you have.
I don't have one in my home, but I've tried it in different places.
Right, Pedro. Where did you try it that you can remember?
The last time I remember, it was in Ireland. There was a game where they put you in the VR glasses and it simulated like a roller coaster.
Okay. What did you think of it? Were you impressed by it? Did you think it was a revolutionary concept that was going to change the world? Or did you think this is nothing special?
I don't think it's going to change the world, just because maybe it's going to change the way we see entertainment and all that, but I don't think you can translate it into many other uses.
Do you think that's because we're still early with the technology, or because it's not as immersive, if you know that word? It doesn't take you inside quite as much as people used to imagine it would?
I think it's because in many activities you need your own eyes, and you need to see what's real, and just creating a new virtual reality wouldn't apply to many other aspects from entertainment.
Okay, interesting. Anyone else had a virtual reality experience? Had a go putting one of these on?
I have one friend that have this virtual reality headset, and I tried them in his house, and I really like it, but I don't know. I don't see it like a future thing or something. I don't know. It's just like a new way of playing for me.
So it's more. Both of you have said really you think it's just about gaming, really.
Yeah.
It's not likely to have an impact on real life. I wondered what other people thought about that. There was a lot of consideration in the early days of virtual reality that it could have an impact on how people lived. You have these immersive games online that people used to use and still do use, that like RPG games, role-playing games, where people got immersed in it so much they would spend the whole day in there, I wondered what you thought. Diego, will you pass the second question on to someone in your class?
I don't know who is here. Wait. Yeah, maybe. Ainara, what do you think about the second question?
No, what do you think about the second question? No, could you read the second question, Diego?
Yeah.
Wait.
Don't get away with that one.
Ainara, what do you think about if cultural virtual reality existence replace a real life existence for some people eventually?
Good question.
I don't know if Ainara.
Ainara has left the room.
Why not? What at that moment?
Wait, so then I can select another person and that's all.
You may.
Yeah, great.
Sarah, for example, that.
Sarah's always
here.
She never goes at me.
I don't think a virtual reality could replace 100% the reality per se, but I do think it's a great chance for people who haven't got the same, like for example, people with disabilities. It's a great chance to experience things they couldn't experience other way. So I think it's good for them, but for example, I wouldn't change climbing the Himalaya by doing it with sunglasses. I don't know. What do you think, Lucas?
You made me think, sorry to interrupt here, but you made me think of the film Avatar just now, if you guys have watched it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think what happens in the film is similar to what you just suggested. When people have disabilities, in the sense that there's a limb they cannot use in their bodies, virtual reality offers a possibility to when it's really well made, obviously, to forget about that, forget that you for a few minutes, forget that you cannot walk or that you lack an arm. So how is that? Because there's a second part to the question, I think. How is that? Is that a positive or a negative thing?
Well, it depends of the person at first, because, for example, if I lacked an arm and I couldn't, I wasn't right with that. I mean, if I didn't like that part of me, if I didn't accept it at all, I don't think it would be the rightest choice to have a virtual reality experience where I would have an arm and then back to the reality don't having an arm. I don't think that's well at all.
Okay. So it's a complex issue, really. But it could help people with disabilities to have a different type of experience than they would normally have in real life. What about those people with social isolation? Sarah, why don't you pass this one on to someone else, the particular issue of people who are socially isolated and perhaps don't have contact with any other people?
Yes, I would like to know what Lucas thinks about this.
Okay.
I think
I would like to know what Lucas thinks.
In my opinion, this won't substitute, for example, as you said, climbing the Himalaya, but it will help those of us which aren't physically capable to climb the mountain to like a similar experience to. So it won't be as good that it's in real life, but I think it will be a experience, and I will like to do that.
Okay. We got a bit of feedback on the mic there, but you were saying that you thought that you would personally like to be involved in it, and something else you said about people with disabilities?
No, not about disabilities, but not everyone is capable to climb the Himalaya. So there's a few group of people is able to do that. So for the rest of us, that will be a great experience.
Okay, so you think it provides the chance for people to do things
Yeah,
who would never be able to do that otherwise?
yeah,
I suppose that can be a great boost to the self-esteem of someone in that situation, right?
yeah. And I would like to know Anna's opinion about the ethics and moral that is that should we.
Before we jump into number 3, Lucas, hold on just a second. It needs a little introduction, question 3, really, because it's a different theme about AI. But that's perfect. We'll ask someone that question. I'll come back to you. But first, I wanted to just remind myself that I saw Cassie did a really nice little introduction for you guys on Friday, I think it was. Is that right? About AI, about the Turing test, and about some of the issues around whether artificial intelligence is a positive or negative thing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice one. So you've got a little bit of a background about AI and what you think about it. Perfect. Then Lucas, go ahead. Sorry, and you pick someone.
Yeah, I would like to know Rihanna's opinion about that.
Sorry, Lucas, you might have to say again. You might have to try and shout as loud as you can because your mic is really low.
I would like to know Rihanna's opinion about that.
I think he's saying he doesn't like.
That I would like to know Miranda's opinion about that.
Miranda.
Yeah. Well, I would like to remark that I'm just speculating because you want to know nothing about the future until you have that thing from you. So, well, I would say that the IA, it's something that could be which could be highly present on our daily lives in the future, because if something as strange as it was the internet when it started to be used by normal people, and watching the quickness and the way in which it has expanded to different fields and different aspects of our daily lives. I think that why wouldn't the IA become on a close or midterm future something influential and very present in our daily lives. So, well, talking about the positive and negative things about it, I would say.
Hold on, Miranda. Let's not move on to question 5 or 4 yet. Let's stick with one question at a time in order that we don't jump ahead too far. Just thinking about ethics.
Okay. Sorry.
I know that you probably weren't sure which question we were going for anyway, because it was hard to hear on mic there before from Lucas. But it was thinking about what ethical and moral standards should we use to create AI.
Okay. I thought that we were talking about the second question. Sorry.
No, don't worry. I thought I'd jump in and clarify so you didn't. No, you didn't. I didn't want you to have to talk about something that you weren't sure which question you were answering. But think about what ethical and moral standards should we use to create any kind of artificial intelligence? Should we think about it, or should we just go any old artificial intelligence with any old parameters?
Yeah, I think that talking about ethical and moral standards, that's one of the main things that people scare off the IS, because you probably don't know how a computer would react to certain things, or how could in which way the moral standards, the feelings, the inner forces that drives humans will be applied to to computers. So, well, I think that we as the inventors of the IA we could try to regulate that by, well, like creating a kind of software which could like base the decisions or the choices that the program, the IA makes, based on certain standards or morals. The problem is that by doing that, you should like write to stipulate a set of moral rules that that program would use in order to decide something. And I think that that's the point in which the problems appear, because the world is immense. We have an incredible branch of different cultures, which each one has its own moral and ethical views. I think that trying to adapt the artificial intelligence to all those kinds of ethical views, it's
complex, right?
Something quite hard, because and the artificial intelligence is something that it's being mainly developed nowadays in, I would say that Western countries such as the US, despite some countries such as South Korea or Japan, advance a lot in this field. The leader, I would think that it's the United States. So probably in the future, those moral standards that artificial intelligence will follow would be the Western American heroes and ones. As nowadays the ones of gender equality and that stuff.
Good point. Can you pass this one on to someone else?
Yeah.
This is an interesting.
Okay. Let me check. It's here. Yeah. Well, I would like to know how my my dear fellow Rachel knows about things about this.
Well, I think that the ethical part is a really hard thing to imagine right now. Of course, we are having some development right now of the AE, and we really don't know how it's going to develop in the future. And I don't think, as in right now, we really have that problem of thinking ethically and moral, or not that big of a problem. But as it grows and we come more near to the point where we will work similar to humans, I think it's going to be really hard to develop some ethical and moral for that. And I think at the end of the day, the morals and the ethical that they will have would be from the culture that designed it. So if Europe is the one that developed it, well, then they will follow that moral and ethical views of Europe. But so I think that it's really hard to think how are we gonna be able to put the ethical and the moral on robots, because I think that the words point to think how to develop in a robot. I think that's the hardest thing to do.
It is, and it is like you said, it's a little while off yet, probably, but it'll sneak up on us, I think. this idea of once, people are making more and more robotics and more AIs, and they're getting more sophisticated quickly. And so at one point, we'll make one that's more sophisticated than we think, or that we realize, then we'll need that morality in there. But what I was getting at with this question as well, guys, is the idea of playing God, if you know this concept or this expression, the idea of, picking someone's morality and their ethics. And that's where I talked about religion and the idea that we're playing God is it's almost dangerous in itself, isn't it? What do you think? Someone jumped in there.
Yeah. I think it's really a lot of power in just human beings. I don't know if we are ready or somehow prepared and if we are ever gonna be able to play God in a responsible way. And I would like to think if Andrea thinks that we are going to be able someday to have this power in our hands.
Well, I agree with what you said, that this progress comes with a lot of responsibility, and right now I don't think that we would be capable of managing all this responsibility. So I don't really know if in the future this will change. Like, I do think that I can help us make this progress and advance towards a better future and help us resolve conflicts or eradicate war and whatever. But I think that on the other side, to do this, maybe it is difficult to come together and have one set of values in which we all agree. But maybe I think that what is most important is that we focus on doing it for the benefit of all, instead of maybe ruling out selfishness and doing it for ourselves, making all of these advances and progressing for the benefit of the rest of the world.
It's a very good point, and it's almost moving us naturally on to point 4, which was to think about whether the development of artificial intelligence, is it only going to help humanity, or are there going to be some issues with AI? And what do you agree or disagree with that? Perhaps you could pass that question on.
Angela, what do you think about the next question?
Read the question. Perhaps read the question. It's always better for people to get the question so they've got a heads up as to which one that they're looking for.
Okay, so the question is, the development of artificial intelligence will help only humanity, agree or disagree, and why?
And this is for
Angela.
Okay, Angela.
Okay, I like the idea that firefighters must roll the streets so they can get in.
Maybe pick someone else if Angela's not around.
Yes, I'm here. My mic was off and my Wi-Fi didn't work well.
Unacceptable. It's fine. Don't worry, Angela.
Okay. So I think that artificial intelligence is going to... I think that artificial intelligence is going to mainly help humans, but consequently it can help maybe the environment in where we live, or maybe the world around us. So I think that yes, it's going to benefit humans, but that is not the only thing. So I think that like Andrea said, it's going to be artificial intelligence is needed to be a benefit for everyone. So maybe we now the movement of climate change, that we need to be more consciousness. So maybe I think that yes, it's mainly for our health, but it's also going to, maybe we can develop a machine that is going to help to recycle more often, or maybe in a better way.
Okay, so you think that there's a mixed set of results that will come out of this?
Yeah, I think that artificial intelligence is going to help humans, but consequently, maybe so the environment and all of that, because we need the world around us to live.
Okay, we have to focus on the world around us more than we focus on anything else. Okay, can you pass this one on to someone else, because this one should be interesting?
Yeah. I would like to know what Sarah thinks about this topic.
Well, I think that Raquel said that we have the power in our hands, and I completely agree. I agree with what she said. And as long as we want to help only ourselves, that's what we will do. But if we want to be beneficial in other aspects, we can do it. I mean, if it's something we can control, it's in our hands to make it beneficial for us or for all the world. Like, for example, maybe animals or environment. And I think we should really look after that, because only by helping to preserve the environment, will help ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You really, both of you taking it back to the environmental issues and putting them first before we consider artificial intelligence and things like that. Okay. Let's move on to specific benefits and drawbacks in certain areas for artificial intelligence, guys. Number 5. What do you think? Salo, would you like to read and put question A to one of the participants?
Yes. Shall I read the question and then pass it, or simply pass it?
Better always to read the question, I think, and then people get heads up, right?
Okay. What are the main benefits of drawbacks to artificial intelligence and robotics in various fields? I would like to know what Miranda thinks.
About the first one, about health.
Well, talking about health, I would say that artificial intelligence could result highly beneficial and useful in this field, mainly because two reasons. Firstly, because, for example, in talking about health, we could think with the first image that come to our minds, it's, for example, a doctor, which instead of being a doctor, it's a robot. But instead of that, we could think that something which it's more realistic in a short-term future. It's that, for example, to create an AI program which, for example, offers insurance to people, or which try to manage statistic data about the possibilities of an intervention or something to go wrong or be.
Right, there's an 83.6% chance of failure or whatever.
Yeah, for example. And I think that in that field it could be useful because this is quite related with the last question which I've answered up the one of moral standards, which is that the IA, as far as we know, doesn't have feelings. They don't move by their feelings, their sensations. So in some things, some jobs which required not to be very influenced by your emotions, such as, for example, talking with someone and saying, yeah, you have such possibilities of dying in 4 months because whatever. I think that in those things, the IA could be useful, and as well as in some other jobs which we are not able as humans to manage. For example, I don't know if you know, but a couple of months ago or a couple of years ago, someone started talking about a university in the United States which was trying to create like tiny micro robots which could be used to try to attack the cancer tumors. Yeah, I mean that it's that's quite a bit of a science fiction view, but it could be real.
Possible, you never know.
Yeah, it could be possible. So, well, in health, I don't have so much ideas about how this technology would be applied, because
I suppose there's also surgeries, isn't there? You were talking about people that were impassionate, that they didn't let their emotions get into play, and if you're very doing a very intricate surgery.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, pass the next one on to one of your classmates.
Yeah, okay.
Try and look for someone who has not been talking so far. I'm sure, although I can't get back to the main menu without leaving the screen, that there are many lurkers who have not spoken yet. Pick one of those.
Okay. I will.
For example, the ones listed in your chat, you've got Gonzalo, Irene, Mario. I'm sure Pedro would love to say something again. All great choices.
Okay, so I would like to know what my friend Passamon thinks about this topic. What do you think about the manufacturing industry and business? How does the IA would be implemented in that sector?
Can you repeat the question? Because it didn't. I couldn't listen it real good.
Yeah, of course. That how do you think that the IA would be introduced in the manufacturing sector or industry?
Well, I have no concrete idea about this, because I don't really know how this works, but I think that it's gonna be really important to introduce it in the manufacturing industry. But I do not have a concrete answer, so I would like to know what Irene thinks about the development of artificial intelligence will only help humanity, and if she disagrees this affirmation.
All right, Passaman, we've done number 4 out. That's cool. But see, for manufacturing, do you think I need to get more out of you than that, mate? You can't get away with that, frankly.
That was a very hot potato.
That was a very hot potato. I'm not going to bother answering the question, and I'm going to throw it to someone else. And not even the right question either. We've got to give us a bit more than that. You can choose manufacturing, education, military, or home life. Give us some ways in which artificial intelligence could make people's lives easier or more difficult in one of those areas.
Who, me or Mario?
Definitely Mario.
What? I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or I can listen to you really good.
Don't worry, Mario. I'm saying manufacturing might be a bit difficult to discuss because it's a specific area. But there's also education, military, and home life. They're listed to think about some benefits and drawbacks to artificial intelligence, things that it could help with, things it could make more difficult. You can choose any of those areas to make a few comments on.
Okay, yeah. like artificial intelligence, like it's gonna help in almost all the aspects, like in health, in manufacturing, in education. But I think like the one that is gonna be like more beneficial, like the one that artificial intelligence is gonna be really important for, it's military, because you can save lives, you can practice like with this like I don't know, like with these worlds that don't even exist, like in reality, and like you can train a lot of people over there without spending like a lot of money. Like they are doing now.
Well, now we already have things like drones, don't we, which are like a form of robotics at least, and with some degree of artificial intelligence, but mostly controlled by humans, making choices in military aspects. One of the big things that I read about with military was that soon they think they will be able to have some kind of AI that can make choices for militaries around the world that could involve deaths of enemy combatants, or could involve calculating the amount of civilians that will be killed, and they would make the choice about who would live or die, a robot or an AI. What do you think about that? Do you think that could reduce the amount of problems in war, or could be quite a dangerous thing?
Well, I think that's like the same that happens right now, because like in that case, like machines or like artificial intelligence would decide who lives or who dies, or well, like the only thing that I can find like different is that machines wouldn't have any regrets of killing people, whereas like people like do have regrets normally if they are like in a good mental condition or something. That's gonna have consequences.
That's true.
I do not think that that's gonna like make a difference on how the world works right now. Like we're just gonna change like those things that normally people do to things that machines will do.
Okay, you think it's not going to make a massive difference? Okay. Anyway, good comeback, Passimon. You give some nice answers. You were going to pass that on to someone else. You can give them all the options on number 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Irene choose like any of those 5.
Okay.
Okay, so what you talked about that you didn't know like really the answer in manufacturing, like is really specific, but for example in factories or yes, that kind of industries, the person who owns the factory or owns the brand maybe wants to pay a little bit more for a machine that goes faster than a person because the cost is much cheaper in a period of time. But on the other hand, you're like quitting people from the factory and replacing them with machines. So that is kind of the drawback about using artificial intelligence. But yeah, the benefit is mainly for the person who owns the factory rather than the workers or normal people who have like those advantages.
So do you think that in manufacturing, some robots or some artificial intelligence robots who can do more sophisticated tasks will end up taking jobs away from humans?
Yeah, like maybe I don't know, in the production of technology or something like that. Maybe they could be like more precise, because on other types of thing, like maybe I don't know, like programming or something, maybe you need like a human being to like really finish I don't know, like trying and testing the device or something, because like Mario said, like a machine doesn't have like the conscience of and the thinking of I don't know, everything.
Yes, they don't quite have the same emotional impact on them, so that's true. Okay, nice, Irene. I think we can still answer. There's a few more areas: home life and education. Let's hear from at least one more person. And then pass on to someone who has not spoken yet. There's at least 2 more people, I think.
Okay, so Gonzalo, what do you think are the main benefits and drawbacks about artificial intelligence in home life?
Oh, Gonzalo pieced out as soon as you said his name. Look at that.
That's happened twice now, hey? Right at the start and right at the end, we had one.
Pedro, you think you can feel that one?
Go for it.
I think Pedro can.
Yeah, Pedro can.
What
Pedro
was the
started so he can
education
finish.
or home life?
We'll go for both if you like. Feel free.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Home life was the one.
I think home life, it's already happening. So with like all these home
Roomba.
Alexa,
Yeah,
and they connect to like the fridge, the toaster, the Roomba, everything. So I think for home life is gonna be one of the first uses of AI, because also it's like us being comfortable is one of the main reasons of technology. So this would give some advantages that people would eventually feel like it's necessary, I guess. And for education, I think it's a very similar thing, but there's some part of education that cannot be replaced by AI. For example,
so nice.
teachers. Yeah.
A part of education. One small part. Did you just say, Pedro, from what you just said, what I understand is that you're basically saying toasters can replace teachers? Is that more or less your point?
That what can replace teachers?
Toasters. You just mentioned toasters. I didn't know this, but toasters apparently can understand what we're saying right now.
No, but like the toasters connect to the HomePod, and then
Not mine.
there's so many appliances.
I think mine was 10 euros. I don't think 10 euros you get any AI. But
eventually every toaster will be able to connect.
That's perfect.
That's a perfect way to end.
Yeah.
The power of technology taking over. They can run Valley FM. All right, guys. Thank you for your work. Sorry, someone came in there.
No, just me saying that that'll work. Your teacher can make your breakfast and teach you at the same time.
Yeah, indeed.
We laugh now, but one of these days we will end up having to do just that. We might, actually.
True. Thank you to those of you who are brave enough to stick around.
Yeah, many of you actually.
Yeah, we had 11 people talk today, I think, from my count.
No shade on those 2 who chose not to participate, but also a little shade.
Yeah, just a bit.
Ruben, thanks for joining us and for letting us participate in
your
amazing Valley FM program.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear from my brilliant students. And Kieran, thanks for guiding the discussion for us.
No, a pleasure. And we have more to talk about, guys. Look at these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Almost perfectly another possible lesson if we should so choose.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking forward to that, actually. Okay, thank you very much, you guys. Awesome debate. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so AI. Tell us what you think. If you think some jobs will be replaced by robots in the near future, please leave us your opinion in the comment section. If you think they won't, some things will necessarily be done, made by humans, please tell us as well in the comment section. Tell us anything you think about AI, or if you if you're lost and are looking for another web page, also please let us know in the comment section. More from Valley FM after this break for the recess for our playground.
If you're still connected listening to Valley FM, you're in luck because you could participate in a great draw to win a trip to Maldives. Yes, you heard correctly. This may be your summer.
Enjoying a trip to the Maldives with the companion of your choice. It could be your brother, your sister, your partner, or your best friend. Anyway, it would be great. You can do many activities, visit unforgettable places, and relax in the island.
The Savage Madrid is back one more year, and this time better and bigger than ever. If you have never come, you should do it without even thinking about it. This edition would be held in October, on the 4th and 5th. The schedule will cover from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. This means that you will have the privilege of enjoying more than 16 hours of your favorite music, live and without interruptions. This year you will be able to hear singers like Funzo and Baby Loud, Cruz Cafuné, Cace or Arte. Don't think it twice and buy your tickets that are already on sale. Remember, Savage Madrid.
Valley FM. Everything the light touches is the valley, 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 valley.
Are you tired of having to stop the radio or your music when you enter a parking or just when you remain without connection? Well, it's over because from now on, with Spotify Premium, you won't have to worry about that. You will only have to enjoy your music and that of others, as you like. Try it free 1 month. If it convinces you, for only €5 a month, it will be yours. Don't waste your time. The good music awaits you.
Are you tired of your backpack of always? Here you have a purchase for a brand new backpack every day.
You're listening to Valley FM.
Do you hate shopping and having to buy many different colored t-shirts? Because here we bring you a colored t-shirt for every day.
Tired of leaving school and having to take the bus? Do not suffer anymore. Now, with our premium limousine service, you can go home comfortably, and the best thing is that you will not have to share a seat with anyone. Before, at 50 euros a month, now only at 49,99. Do not miss this incredible offer. Call now and get your premium limousine service.
Valley FM. It's not the Valley of the Fallen, it's the Valley of the Rockers.
Hi, I'm Yaisa. Today I am going to introduce you amazing products. These are the new headbands. They are in many different colors and they also are perfect for any occasion that you want to put it. They are very comfortable.
Are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching The Kissing Booth? Do you want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Agresti in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then download Salupa, a dating app for El Valle students. With this app, you will find your own Noah Flynn. Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life.
Hey, did you hear Valley FM's back?
That's groovy.
Hey you, yes, you, the one who's hearing this. Is your backpack too heavy? Your back hurts, you have bad posture, and you also feel like you get smaller every time you carry it? Say goodbye to all these problems with our new robot, the multifunctional charger. It has a platform that will carry your backpack without you noticing. It also comes with a built-in system that will straighten your back in 3 weeks of continuous use. Request it right now for only 120 euros. And if you are one of the first 5 to call, we will send you the 300-page manual with all its functions at half of price. Do not miss out on this unique offer.
Are you struggling to pass that stupid subject? Do you need some help with the next exam?
We have the best cheat notes of Francinaro. We cover everything from ESO exams to BACH IB exams.
Buy 2 and receive a free German cheat note. Brutal cheat notes. Simply brutal.
Es la leche.
Aren't you tired of the clothes in your wardrobe that you no longer use? The ones that take away space for other new clothes? Well, the new Vinted platform, an expert in trends, is responsible for ensuring a safe and effective purchase and sale of your favorite outfits. We have a large number of users with whom you can chat throughout the page and agree on the price that you choose. Unlike other companies specialized in the same subjects, we facilitate your work, carrying out our shipping to avoid confusion. Waiting for replacing and saving your purchase has never been so easy. Been dead, if you want something, look it up.
This is Valley FM.
Tired of leaving school and having to take the bus? Do not suffer anymore. Now, with our premium limousine service, you can go home comfortably, and the best thing is that you will not have to share a seat with anyone. Before, at 50 euros a month, now only at 49,99. Do not miss this incredible offer. Call now and get your premium limousine service.
Are you tired of your backpack of always? Here you have a purchase for a brand new backpack every day.
You're listening to Valley FM.
Aren't you tired of the clothes in your wardrobe that you no longer use? The ones that take away space for other new clothes? Well, the new Vinted platform, an expert in trends, is responsible for ensuring a safe and effective purchase and sale of your favorite outfits. We have a large number of users with whom you can chat throughout the page and agree on the price that you choose. Unlike other companies specialized in the same subjects, we facilitate your work, carrying out our shipping to avoid confusions. What are you waiting for? Replacing and saving your purchase has never been so easy. Been dead, if you want something, look it up.
Are you struggling to pass that stupid subject? Do you need some help with the next exam?
We have the best cheat notes of Francinaro. We cover everything from ESO exams to BACH IB exams.
Buy 2 and receive a free German cheat note. Brutal cheat notes. Simply brutal.
Es la leche.
This is Valley FM.
Valley FM. Everything the light touches is the valley, 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 valley.
Hi, I'm Jaisa. Today I am going to introduce you amazing products. These are the new headbands. They are in many different colors and they also are perfect for any occasion that you want to put it. They are very comfortable.
Do you think your parents might kill you if they go to your tutorial? Do you want to be able to leave early whenever you want? Then you should hire our services.
We offer actors to play your mother or father and go to your tattooias instead of your real ones.
And give you fake permission to leave early.
Only for a small fee.
Call us.
There is a novelty in the market. The new Reuben juice comes full of vitamins so that children never get tired of playing and never stop speaking English.
The Savage Madrid is back one more year, and this time better and bigger than ever. If you have never come, you should do it without even thinking about it. This edition would be held in October, on the 4th and 5th. The schedule will cover from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. This means that you will have the privilege of enjoying more than 16 hours of your favorite music, live and without interruptions. This year you will be able to hear singers like Funzo and Baby Loud, Cruz Cafuné, Cace or Arce. Don't think it twice and buy your tickets that are already on sale. Remember, Savage Madrid.
Hey, did you hear Valley FM's back?
That's groovy.
Are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching The Kissing Booth? Do you want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Agresti in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then download Salupa, a dating app for El Valle students. With this app, you will find your own Noah Flynn. Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life.
Are you tired of having to stop the radio or your music when you are into a parking or just when you remain without connection? Well, it's over because from now on, with Spotify Premium, you won't have to worry about that. You will only have to enjoy your music and that of others, as you like. Try it free 1 month. If it convinces you, for only €5 a month, it will be yours. Don't waste your time. The good music awaits you.
If you're still connected listening to Valley FM, you're in luck because you could participate in a great draw to win a trip to Maldives. Yes, you heard correctly. This may be your summer.
Enjoying a trip to the Maldives with the companion of your choice. It could be your brother, your sister, your partner, or your best friend. Anyway, it would be great. You can do many activities, visit unforgettable places, and relax in the island.
Psst. Hey you. Yes, you. The one who's hearing this. Is your backpack too heavy? Your back hurts, you have bad posture, and you also feel like you get smaller every time you carry it? Say goodbye to all these problems with our new robot, the Multifunctional Charger. It has a platform that will carry your backpack without you noticing. It also comes with a built-in system that will straighten your back in 3 weeks of continuous use. Request it right now for only €120. And if you're one of the first 5 to call, we will send you the 300-page manual with all its functions at half of price. Do not miss out on this unique offer.
Do you hate shopping and having to buy many different colored t-shirts? Because here we bring you a color themed t-shirt for every day.
Valley FM. It's not the Valley of the Fallen, it's the Valley of the Rockers.
We have the alternative for your bad days. If you come to see us in the playground, we will have ballots available for all of you. You will get them for €2. Have you ever dreamed of being able to know what someone is thinking? Imagine knowing everything that people think of you without them really knowing that you read their thoughts. Here at Valley FM, we bring you an app called Did You Know That? Download it now.
Tired of leaving school and having to take the bus? Do not suffer anymore. Now, with our premium limousine service, you can go home comfortably, and the best thing is that you will not have to share a seat with anyone. Before, at €50 a month, Now only at $49.99. Do not miss this incredible offer. Call now and get your premium limousine service. Psst. Hey you. Yes, you. The one who's hearing this. Is your backpack too heavy? Your back hurts, you have bad posture, and you also feel like you get smaller every time you carry it? Say goodbye to all these problems with our new robot, the multifunctional charger. It has a platform that will carry your backpack without you noticing. It also comes with a built-in system that will straighten your back in 3 weeks of continuous use. Request it right now for only €120. And if you're one of the first 5 to call, we will send you the 300-page manual with all its functions at half of price. Do not miss out on this unique offer.
Are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching The Kissing Booth? Do you want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Greste in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then download Salupa, a dating app for El Valle students. With this app, you will find your own Noah Flynn. Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life.
You're listening to Valley FM.
Hi, I'm Jaisa. Today I am going to introduce you amazing products. These are the new headbands. They are in many different colors and they also are perfect for any occasion that you want to put it. They are very comfortable.
Do you think your parents might kill you if they go to your tutoria? Do you want to be able to leave early whenever you want? Then you should hire our services. We offer actors to play your mother or father and go to your tutorials instead of your real ones. And give you fake permission to leave early. Only for a small fee. Call us.
Are you struggling to pass that stupid subject? Do you need some help with the next exam?
We have the best cheat notes of Funcionaro. We cover everything from ESO exams to BACH IB exams.
Buy 2 and receive a free German cheat note. Brutal cheat notes. Simply brutal.
Es la leche.
If you're still connected listening to Valley FM, you're in luck because you could participate in a great draw to win a trip to Maldives. Yes, you heard correctly. This may be your summer.
Enjoying a trip to the Maldives with the companion of your choice. It could be your brother, your sister, your partner, or your best friend. Anyway, it would be great. You can do many activities, visit unforgettable places, and relax in the island.
Do you hate shopping and having to buy many different colored t-shirts? Because here we bring you a colored tank t-shirt for every day. Are you tired of your backpack of always? Here you have a purchase for a brand new backpack every day.
Valley FM. It's not the Valley of the Fallen, it's the Valley of the Rockers.
There is a novelty in the market. The new Reuben juice comes full of vitamins so that children never get tired of playing and never stop speaking English.
The Savage Madrid is back one more year, and this time better and bigger than ever. If you have never come, you should do it without even thinking about it. This edition will be held in October, on the 4th and 5th. The schedule will cover from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. This means that you will have the privilege of enjoying more than 16 hours of your favorite music, live and without interruptions. This year you will be able to hear singers like Funzo and Baby Loud, Cruz Cafuné, Cafe, or Arce. Don't think it twice and buy your tickets that are already on sale. Remember, Savage Madrid.
This is Valley FM.
Aren't you tired of the clothes in your wardrobe that you no longer use? The ones that take away space for other new clothes? Well, The new Vinted platform, an expert in trends, is responsible for ensuring a safe and effective purchase and sale of your favorite outfits. We have a large number of users with whom you can chat throughout the page and agree on the price that you choose. Unlike other companies specialized in the same subjects, we facilitate your work, carrying out our shipping to avoid confusions. What are you waiting for? Replacing and saving your purchase has never been so easy. Vinted, if you want something, look it up.
We have the alternative for your bad days. If you come to see us in the playground, we will have ballots available for all of you. You will get them for €2. Have you ever dreamed of being able to know what someone is thinking? Imagine knowing everything that people think of you without them really knowing that you read their thoughts. Here at BACH FM, we bring you an app called Did You Know That? Download it now.
Valley FM. Everything the light touches is the valley, 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 valley.
Hey, did you hear Valley FM's back?
That's groovy.
Are you tired of having to stop the radio or your music when you are into a parking or just when you remain without connection? Well, it's over because from now on, with Spotify Premium, you won't have to worry about that. You will only have to enjoy your music and that of others, as you like. Try it free 1 month. If it convinces you, for only €5 a month, it will be yours. Don't waste your time. Digit Music awaits you.
If you're still connected listening to BACH FM, you're in luck because you could participate in a great draw to win a trip to Maldives. Yes, you heard correctly. This may be your summer.
Enjoying a trip to the Maldives with the companion of your choice. It could be your brother, your sister, your partner, or your best friend. Anyway, it would be great. You can do many activities, visit unforgettable places, and relax in the island.
There is a novelty in the market. The new Reuben juice comes full of vitamins so that children never get tired of playing and never stop speaking English.
Back from the playground recess, from our little break, or in fact a long break really, if you think about it. I mean, if you've been listening to the last 20 minutes of our show, it's all been ads and fake publicity really, except for, again, Vinted and Spotify Premium, which are real as you and me. But I can guarantee that my next class will have any attendance at all. Oh, hello.
Hello.
I was concerned because I wasn't sure that I would find anybody here. Really. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Mario, did you get my email?
Mario is absent.
Okay. Well, anyway, I hope he did get my email because it's important. I'm just
Sarah's asking by the chat if
I know, but she's not in the call, I think.
No, yeah, she was, but she left.
Okay, well, if you have her phone number, can you text her and tell her that we are here? She wants if she cares to join us. I was saying that I wasn't sure if I would find any of you or not today because it's a special day now. It's the first day without you fighting for any marks or anything. So if you come, it's because I take it you like me. Great. Silence to that question.
What?
Wonderful. No, nothing. I was just kidding. I was just saying that you keep coming now because you like me.
Hi, Ruben.
Yes, hello. Of course. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about well, this is very funny because this morning I could have the thing I spoke about this morning to 3B was perhaps more for you guys. I spoke about e-games and e-athletes and stuff, but I think we should speak about something else instead, because last week we already spoke about computers and IT. Anyway, today I'd like to talk about football or sports in general, but football specifically. Have you heard what happened to, well, as you know, when the quarantine started, most sport events in the world were either cancelled or put off for later within the year. Now, in the case of the Spanish La Liga, the football league, it was, I think, stopped as of March the 13th, I think, or 16th, and now it's been resumed, which means if normally the La Liga competition stops or finishes at the end of May, I think, or early June. Now we're going to have the competition for the rest of the summer, as in July probably, and it will finish in early August or something like that. Now, what do you think of that decision?
I didn't understand.
Yes, sorry. The Spanish football league is called La Liga in the world in general. It's understood as that. Has been resumed now, as in it was stopped, and now it's back.
Yes.
Which means instead of finishing at more or less now it would have finished, we're going to the competition is going to extend all throughout July, I think, and early August, so that all the matches are played. People get to see that from home, obviously, because you can't go to the stadium. What's that, Caesar? Say again.
But can people go to the stadiums?
No.
And see it?
No, you can't go to the stadium, but you can watch it from home. The stadiums are closed to the public. Caesar, I think you were saying something and we couldn't hear you.
Yes. That we have football all days because they have to finish, and there are two. How do you say jornadas?
Fixtures, you say fixtures, but you can also say game days as well. It's easier.
Yeah, we have 2 game days in one week, so they have to be.
Yeah, that's also true. They have moved. They have put the calendar in a way that or remade the calendar in a way that there are 2 games for every team has to play 2 games every week. So much like in the NBA normally.
And then in August, the Champions League. They have to play the Champions League too.
Sarah, you were going to say something, I think.
No.
So my question goes in this direction. There are certain sports, and we mentioned this the other day in another. For anybody who listens to the show regularly, we mentioned this the other day, and we said I sort of promised that we would have a discussion about this, and it is today with this group. I think we mentioned it with first of baccalaureate, but anyway. So there are sports that that happen in the summer. And so those sports, because they are sometimes they're a minority sport, television channels don't show them, don't broadcast them as much as football, because football is obviously, especially in this country, is very, very popular, and it eats all of the other sports in a way. So because now football is going to be at the same time as those sports, they will be more invisible than ever. Because normally it's their time in the summer to take place, and for people to get to know them, or to enjoy them simply. But this year is going to be different in that, or isn't it going to be different? What do you think?
That yes, it's going to be different.
You think, yeah, probably football will,
And it's not the same to play football with no people
with
seeing.
people watching you that with no.
What is that
Because they
again?
are like
Sorry.
animating the team.
Wait, I think many different arguments are coming together. Caesar was saying, I think, if I understand it correctly, that it's not the same to play football with people in the stadium than without.
Yeah.
Great. Now Lola was saying something else.
Sarah was saying that the people could animate their teams, but I think that
cheer. We say cheer the teams.
cheer the teams, but I think that without people, maybe because also there are people that cheers them, but there are also that say bad things. So maybe they can play more concentrate.
It's true. That's true. Obviously, there's one thing that teams often speak about, and it's the home factor, I think, or the home or away factor. So depending on whether you play in your stadium or the rival stadium, there is sometimes they also call that the 12th player, because it's your supporters in your home stadium are sometimes, they create an atmosphere in the stadium that puts a lot of pressure on the rivals, so it's difficult to, even though they're professionals and they're used to listening to a lot of noise, sometimes the amount of noise to cheer the people you're playing against can have a threatening, I think, or a frightening effect on you and your confidence. So basically, that is gone now, I think, is what you're trying to say, because for better or worse, people who cheer you or against you are gone. You don't see them. They're not there with you. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. More opinions, please.
I don't know.
What about the other sports? For example, let me give you specific examples. The swimming World Cup, the swimming finals, we say, I think.
The the swimming championship.
Yeah, exactly. We call it the World Cup. We just say the finals, I think, the World Finals.
Yeah, I see it all summers.
They happen every year in the summer.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that swimming is not a sport that people follow, or that people it's basically not as popular as football, and I think we can measure that in how, for example, professional swimmers normally have to have another job as well as doing that sport. In fact, most of them who are professionals do not just do swimming. They also have to do, even though the best paid athletes in swimmers basically, I think do something else, at least related to their sport, maybe train a team or something, which is not the case for football players. Football players who are well paid, are basically millionaires, and football players who are not very well paid or not as well paid as those in the elites.
Yeah.
Will have more money than you and I will ever see, basically. So unless we invent something, I believe in you guys, and maybe you will invent something that will revolutionize the world. But for the moment, if we're thinking of normal jobs with normal salaries, ranging from 1,000 euros to 5,000 euros a month, which is 5,000 euros would be something to be really proud of, an achievement. That is still not as much as a professional football player in first division, for example, of any European league. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that football is more popular than those sports, than swimming in this case. Now, what is going to happen to the swimming finals this summer?
I don't know.
If football is on at the same time.
It has to, because swimming is less, I don't know, in football you can be infected of coronavirus easier than in swimming, because how do you say chloro?
Chlorum, you say?
The chloride eliminates the virus.
It's true. They say that swimming pools are safe for some reason because of the chloride in the water.
The football players start to train so many days ago, and I swim, and I have to start to train today.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Because today, are we? For a moment, I am not sure. Are we in stage 3 today in Madrid? Officially?
No, I don't think so.
It's next Monday, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, I think that it's next Monday.
Next Monday, it's stage 3, and then within 2 Mondays after that, it's the new normality, which is a great term for that. Anyway, the new normal. It's like calling us abnormals now. We are abnormal.
Yeah.
This is abnormal, and then there is the new normal. Anyway, that obviously is a difference from swimming to football. Contact sports apparently are high risk, and swimming is not, because of chloride in the water. But my question was more in the line of if the TVs have to decide, the TV channels, when they buy the rights to broadcast a sports event, a sports competition, if they have to decide between football and, in this case, swimming or cycling or judo, the Olympics, what do you think they choose? And what makes them choose?
Football.
They choose football. Why do you think that is?
Because they,
Go ahead, Lola.
Because it gives more money, because football is more popular, so people is going to watch it.
Yeah, essentially it's that more money comes from advertisers, basically, company and people who pay to have their spot on TV at a specific time, etc., or their brand to be seen on the screen, etc., or even the commentator to mention that, to make like a live ad of like Juanita's ads for Valley FM of their brand, of their company. So basically money is what drives, let's say, what leads TV choices and TV channels. Now my question is this: do you think it should be like that? Do you think it's fair that it's like that? That it's just run by, if people like it, this is what we should show them. If more people like, I don't know, videos of people falling, we should have more channels of that, because that is going to give me money as a channel, imagine. So I invest in that.
Yes and no.
I agree with you. Could you expand? Could you elaborate?
I don't know how to explain it, but if people like it, yes, you can put more content about that. But you cannot also you cannot only base your content in the money.
Yeah, we shouldn't. At least we shouldn't.
Because you are only thinking on you,
on your
and
your benefit.
if it gives you money, so
yeah,
you don't have to do this, because it's not fair.
This is no. Go ahead. Sorry.
To the people, but if the people like that, I don't know.
It is a very complicated issue in the sense that you guys have explained it really well. On the one hand, we have if people like a specific type of content on TV, then obviously TVs will have to show more of that, because that's what will attract an audience. However, if you just if you make as a country, I mean, if the government, the country does not intervene TV, as in it does not give money to public TV, it's therefore making those channels fight against each other for survival, for audiences, and so they will only look at that criterion of, are more people watching this, then we should offer more of this. I'm thinking, for example, of Telecinco and the kind of programs they show. They have obviously a very clear line of and target in mind when they design their TV shows. I think Telecinco is very well known in Spain to be a channel that is driven by what we call in Spanish the pink press, which is basically what we call in English tabloids and stuff like that. So it's celebrities, and sometimes not even celebrities, because sometimes it's the journalists of the show who make the star of the show, like the life of the presenter, and we call they spend 3 hours talking about that. And that a lot of people find that interesting, and so Telecinco has based their whole programming. Telecinco didn't used to be like that some years ago when I was a kid, for example, but slowly they have evolved into showing more of that and making that the star, let's say, of their programming. Are you following what I'm trying to say, more or less?
Yes.
If Telecinco didn't have to fight for survival, Telecinco, Antena 3 and everybody, if they didn't have to fight for their survival, then they wouldn't have to just think about what do my viewers like, and so I'm going to offer more and more and more of that, and so we wouldn't have so much poor quality shows on TV. And when I say that is, for example, I think it's equally bad to hear people shout at each other on TV about someone's personal life than about an athlete's, a football player's future career or performance. I think that those are two examples of things that, for example, if I were a parent, I wouldn't want my children to be looking at that. So I think TV, I don't know what you think, but I think TV should have or has a responsibility of with education, I think, and as a teacher, I see it that way. I think anything that is public and a lot of people are going to watch, they have a responsibility to choose very carefully what you are showing, because children are going to be, children are a button away from seeing that. So if children are a button away from seeing that, you should act just like you act in front of children when you're in front of them. Now, do you agree with that? Sorry, maybe, yes, maybe I made it too complicated. I was just saying that I think it's my opinion that TV should be careful what they show, because anyone with a button in their remote can access their content. It's not as if, you need a password or something, or you need to pay for it. It's there. You just have to switch on the TV. So because it's like that, then they should be careful what they say and how they say it, what they show, basically, because not everything is good for the citizens of tomorrow, basically. I wouldn't want my children to be looking at people shouting at each other, for example. I don't think it's a good value for society in general. So do you think TV has a responsibility towards children?
Yes, but sometimes they have the excuse of the square with 16 years.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes they say that.
But in some TVs, you can configure to some channels give a password.
So you think that it's not really a problem because home you can.
No, but no. For example, my TV, you cannot do that. They have to be more careful what they show.
I think that is a point that we should establish in any country, really. TV is a source of education, as well as schools, as well as the internet, as well as everything. So it's nearly impossible to control the internet these days, at least the way we understand it and the way we use it. It's not possible to control it, only individually in everybody's houses. But when you are broadcasting something on TV and it's as easy to access as pressing a button, really, I think in that case you should be even more careful because you can control it. So what type of society do we want is I think what we have to ask ourselves as a country. Do we want a society in which people just shout at each other and whoever has the strongest voice wins? Do we want a society in which success is measured in how many people you have had sex with, or how much money you make, even though and without worrying about intelligence, effort, or any of that? Is that the type of society we want? If that's what we're showing on TV, then that's the society we will have. Those are the values that we are promoting. We are saying on TV that it's cool to be born in a wealthy family, for example. I'm thinking right now of what's his name, Kiko Rivera, I think they call him now. He used to be called Paquirrin, which was something like a strange name or something. But now he wants his birth name back, which is technically his name is Kiko Rivera.
That's because his father.
So anyway, now his name is Kiko Rivera anyway. So he, for example, he's born into a wealthy family, and so his life career has been one of basically not studying, not working, not doing anything profitable, yet always having the good luck of counting on his family's wealth, so he can always reinvent himself. If he wants to start a restaurant because his parents were popular and he's now popular as well, thanks to that, he can make a living. In fact, he probably earns a lot of money, he can also be on TV and basically he's a star of TV. Everybody has heard of him, and he has very little merit in what he does. He's not someone you should admire in the sense of his sacrifice, his level of sacrifice, his intelligence, his expertise in something, his political opinions, for example. He's not someone to listen to in any of those fields, yet a lot of people are eager or want to know what he's doing and what he has to say and his life, basically.
And like he does a lot of things when he wants. So if he wants to sing, he sings because only for entertainment.
Exactly. And there's always going to be someone ready to ask him something about that and to give that visibility because
interview and here's money.
Exactly, because right now, for example, we are live on Valley FM, as you know. So I could be saying, because potentially a lot of people can listen to me, maybe not today live, maybe not this week, but imagine that this video for some reason becomes very, very popular and becomes viral in 1 month. So the things I am saying now, I can say what I want. I can say my own opinions, and I can pass as an expert in, for example, cooking. But maybe I'm not an expert in cooking. So should you listen to my words?
You can listen, but it's not a good.
Exactly. So maybe Anyway, we have wandered off the subject a lot. I'm sorry about that. But my point was that I think we should be careful what we show on TV because as a society, societies should choose very carefully what they show on TV because what we see is what we do, I think, eventually. Anyway, anything you'd like to say by way of conclusion? I've spoken a lot as usual. I'm sorry. Sarah? No?
What?
Your opinion on the subject about TV being a source of education. Do you think TV is a source of education?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Which times? Could you be more specific?
For example, Dora la Exploradora.
Dora the Explorer, yes. Is that a source of education, do you think?
Yes, because she showed me English when I was little.
She taught you English? Well, yeah,
Yes.
that's true. It's true, they teach you English, some words at least. Lola, you were going to say something. Lola the Explorer.
Nothing.
Yeah, it was just that basically. So, by way of conclusion about this topic, would anyone care to say what they think about, if you have thought about football this summer, what it will represent for minority sports?
I don't understand the questions.
Yes, maybe I'm not making them very, very clear today. We have been talking about the power of TV and the things you select to be on TV. Like in this case, if you select football, we know where it comes from. Lola has explained, and Jose Maria as well. If if it gives more money, then obviously I choose that program. So, but what does that represent to the minority sport and its visibility?
That I don't know. That they, as the people, don't see that, you think it's not interesting.
Exactly.
So you go to the things that people see most.
That's right. That's what happens. So again, bottom line of this discussion, let's please be careful with what we show on TV. Not us, obviously. There's nothing we can do, but we would like to change the world by sending a message. Okay, thank you very much for your for coming to class today and telling me what you think about that.
You're welcome, Ruben.
Bye.
Okay.
Have a
Bye.
great day. I'll see you guys
Bye,
tomorrow.
Ruben.
Bye.
Bye.
Not very talkative, my students today. I blame it on myself, really, because maybe the topic was a bit far-fetched for them, basically. Okay, next up we have another quiz. If you remember last week on Friday we had a quiz. Today we will have a different quiz. This time is a music quiz. It's about music. You will probably recognize some of the voices in the show because they've been contributing a lot these days. So I'll leave you with it.
Now we are going to start the game of the day. This week we have done something special. This is a musical game. How much our listeners know about current and older music? We will check it. And if you get successful only in 3 seconds included from our Valley FM program. For those of you who like troubles, this gift will really love it. So start calling the number 623954733 now and don't waste your time.
Your time is over. Calls will start receiving in 3, 2, 1, now. Sorry for those people who have not been able to call. Tomorrow more, no problem. Let's see who we have today with us.
Hello, good morning. What's your name and where we listen to you?
Good, thanks for calling me. You don't get an idea of how much I like your program. I'm excited that made me participate in this competition. My name is Paula. I hear you from Madrid. I love you, I hear you every day.
Thank you, Paula, for supporting and for listening to us every day. You know the game or I explain it?
Obviously, I know what it is about.
Okay, so I keep on. Are you nervous? Because the week game starts in 3, 2, 1, go. First question, follow the song. Party girls, you just want to have fun too.
They say ain't wifey type, na 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 na.
Just continue, come on.
Oh yes, but I don't care, I want you.
Yes, amazing. 1 point goes for Paula.
So, for the second question, which has been the best hit of Travis Scott? The one that has been more listened. A. Goosebumps. B. Can't Say. Or C. Psycho Mode.
Seriously, it's so confusing. I'm between the first one and the third one. But I think it's Psycho Mode.
Oh no, this one was difficult, we admit it. But the hit that has been more listened to is Goosebumps. But don't worry, let's continue.
Okay.
Third question. In which year was published the song Yo por ti, tú por mí of Rosalía and Ozuna?
Obviously, in the year 2017.
Of course, yes. Oh my god, you are a genius. And the last one. Follow the song. Cause I'm just holding on for tonight. Help me, I'm holding on for dear life. Just continue.
Oof, it's difficult. Oh my god, I'm getting nervous.
Say the first thing that goes through your head. In 3, 2, 1.
Thanks you, Paula. Bye-bye. Nothing has been left to get the prize.
Yes, she really was very enthusiastic to get the prize. Oh my god, really yes.
But we're still playing here. This is a non-stop. Who of you will be the next one? Hi, what's your name? How are you?
Hi, I'm Candela. I'm great. If you guys listen some weird sounds in the back, it's because I'm in the car. Going so cool.
Okay, no problem. Where do you call us?
I am from Madrid. I hope to take the prize. Would be amazing. A trip never comes bad.
Yeah, I agree. So what do you think if we start now and check if you take it? We think you will. Just stay positive.
I'm so positive. So let's start.
Okay, Candela. First of all, you know the rules, don't you?
Yes. I'm so fan of this radio program.
So for the first one, the thing complicates. Taylor Swift's favorite song? A. TikTok from Kesha. B. International Love from Pitbull. Or C. Bumpy Ride from Moombi.
I will choose. God, this is so difficult. Bumpy Ride by Moombi.
Yes! How did you know that? This was a very complicated one.
Sincerely, I really don't know because I'm not so fan of Taylor Swift and her music.
So let's go for the next one.
Okay, second question. Last couple of Katy Perry, Time Goes On.
So easy, Orlando Bloom, obviously.
You're such a good fan of Katy Perry?
Yes, I am.
Oh my god, Candela, you are such a genius. And for the third one, what is the song most listening in YouTube?
I don't know.
Come on.
I think Roar from Katy Perry. I'm so obsessed with her, as you probably think.
Yes, but it's wrong.
Yes, I really think that. What song is the boom in YouTube?
See You Again by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth.
I really don't know that. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
And the last one, stay concentrated. You can win an incredible trip. Just follow the song, We Are the Champion, my friends.
And we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champion, we are the champions.
Really well, George's voice, an amazing prize. You win.
Oh my god, thank you so much. Yes, you have gladdened me the day. Thanks, I don't believe it.
Yay, thanks for your participation. Hope you like it. The prize will come to you as very late within 2 days.
Thank you guys. I have to hand that. I have a lot of work.
That is all for today. It has been so intense. If you want to participate and win an amazing prize, you can. But this will happen again tomorrow morning. It's very thankful to hear from you guys that you really like our program, and this motivates us every morning to keep on and also to improve. Also, this is a way to give you all our love and appreciation. So we are so proud that have you listeners.
Thanks us every day for listening to us every morning. We will see you tomorrow as every day. Bye.
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 That's all the time we had for today. Or rather, that's all we had time for today, really. Yes. Either way, it's been an absolute pleasure to be your host again one more day. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I especially did with the debate on AI and well, it was all about debates today, wasn't it? But I think most of them pretty interesting. If you're listening to us, you're a student or a teacher, and you're thinking, how long is this going to go? How long am I still going to have to come to lessons, etc.? Not for much longer, actually. The 23rd is next week on Tuesday. So it is coming to an end finally. The year is coming to an end. This very, very particular year is coming to an end. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for listening.
Don't know what is happening. Give me an opportunity. You say that you belong to me. Now you are ignoring me.